Welcome everyone to this Mint Network Administration Phase 1 Managing Your Digital Twin Lab training session. So before we get started, I'm just going to go through the agenda for today. First, I'm going to give an introduction. Then we're going to take a look at Mint process networks, how to onboard your partner and network linking, managing roles and user access, and then finally we're going to test the configuration. So let's start with an introduction. You may remember the concept of the digital twin from previous courses. And the digital twin represents how your company is structured, where your locations are, who your partners are, and which official business IDs are connected to your organization. So let's take a look at a simple example. Imagine a pharmaceutical company with 3 factories, 2 contract manufacturers, and 1 distribution partner in Europe and the US. In TraceLink, the digital twin represents each of these companies and locations. It includes their official business IDs and licenses, and it shows how they're connected. When a traceability event happens, Mint refers to the digital twin. It checks who is involved in the transaction and how those parties are connected. Then it ensures the information flows to the correct partners. Without an accurate digital twin, these processes would not work smoothly. In simple terms, administration in Mint means keeping your digital twin accurate and up to date. This includes maintaining your company information and updating locations and partners. It involves setting up how your supply chain partners are going to be connected and defining how information moves between them. So let's go on to Mint process networks now. This is the business context. TLU owner is a marketing authorization holder, or MAH. And as an MAH, the company is legally responsible for ensuring that its products meet regulatory requirements in every market where they sell their products. This includes maintaining product traceability, ensuring accurate serialization data, and enabling secure data exchange across the entire supply chain. TLU owner does not operate alone. The company works closely with contract manufacturer partner called TLU partner. The TLU partner is responsible for producing products, shipping them, and reporting required product data. To meet regulatory requirements, both owner and partner must exchange accurate and timely information. To operate efficiently, owner must be digitally connected with its partner. It's not enough to simply exchange files or emails. The connection must be structured and secure. Accurate and timely data must flow between both companies across the network. So the business challenge: to achieve this, TLU owner must address 3 key requirements. First, the owner needs to create a process network. This means modeling the supply chain processes in the system and clearly defining how transactions should flow between owner and partner. Secondly, the owner must complete partner onboarding and network linking. This involves digitally connecting the CMO within the network and formally establishing the business relationship so that both companies can exchange data securely. And lastly, TLU owner must manage roles and user access. This will ensure that the right users have the right permissions so that the sensitive data is only visible to authorized individuals. Without these steps, as a result, TLU owner risks reporting delays and operational inefficiencies. As mentioned earlier, Mint Process Network creates a shared digital workspace to orchestrate different kinds of business processes through a single platform. Let's take a look at what we mean by orchestrating business processes. A multi-enterprise application enables a network through linking to partners. Mint is a multi-enterprise application. It's also considered a multi-network application, which is a multi-enterprise application that can be applied to multiple process networks. The question is, why might you want multiple networks for one application? That's because of the business processes you're working on. For example, manufacturing, logistics, commerce, and transportation. The partners and end users who are working on the manufacturing side of the business are not the same people who are working on the logistics side. Therefore, Process Networks allows you to link your manufacturing partners like CMOs to your Mint for Manufacturing network, while you link your logistics providers like 3PLs to your Mint for Logistics network. So you can exchange the proper transactions in the proper business context on each network. So first, I'm going to give you a demo of how to create a new Mint process network in the system. So here I am in Opus. And firstly, we're going to create the new Mint process network. To do that, you go to Administration, which is in the main menu here. Then go to Network and Apps, select Add New, select the application, for example, Multi-Enterprise Information Network Tower in our case, and give it a network name. So our network will be called Mint for Medical Devices, and where you see the X, just replace it with the number that you've been assigned. Be sure to select Save now. Now on to partner onboarding and network linking. We created our process network in Mint, but to create the entities to use the network, you need to add partners and link to them. If you're familiar with our TTS serialization applications, the concept is exactly the same. You're linking to a partner through a multi-enterprise application to exchange data. The main difference is you exchange serialization and compliance data in TTS, and you're exchanging business and supply chain data through Mint. To link your company with the partner company, you need to first add the partner in Partner Master Data. As a system administrator and TLU owner, your goal is to digitally connect TLU owner with TLU partner in Mint so that you can securely exchange the data. To build and expand your Mint network, you must first define your partners in Partner Master Data. Before any data can be exchanged, Mint should clearly recognize who the partner is on the network and how they're identified. In Mint, a partner can either be an external company, such as your contract manufacturer, TLU partner, or an internal location, such as one of your own warehouses or manufacturing sites. Even though internal locations are part of your company, they can still be enabled for linking if digital data exchange is required. For example, if TLU owner needed to exchange serialized data between corporate systems and an internal packaging site, that internal location could be linked to support inventory tracking and manufacturing transactions in the same structured way as an external partner. In your current business scenario, however, TLU partner is an external contract manufacturer, so you'll enter TLU partner in your partner master data. At a minimum, you must create the partner at the company level, but you could also have the option to define specific partner locations. But why might you want to link to a partner's location versus partner company level? Linking at the location level may be appropriate if different sites of your partner's company use different systems that require separate B2B connections or file formats, or represent different legal entities, so you want to keep their data separate. If the partner company operates at a single level legal entity for owner products, linking it at the company level is sufficient. Basically, to add TLU partner in partner master data, you need the partner's name and at least one global identifier like a GLN, SGLN, DUNS, HIN, etc. To support Mint transaction processing, several new company identifiers can be added to master data, including transaction party ID, SPLC, UCC EDI communication, and telephone number. Remember that just as TLU owner has its own digital twin, TLU partner also has a digital twin, and the global identifier ensures that you connect to the correct entity. Think of the global identifier as the digital address of TLU partner on the TraceLink network. Before we move on, I have another question. If I were to separate the business processes I use with internal locations from the processes I use with my CMO, how could I do that? The answer is I could create another process network specifically for my internal locations. I could apply the same configuration that I use for my external partners, or I could set up a simpler configuration that supports only the internal manufacturing transactions I need. Now I'm going to show you how to add a new partner to Partner Master Data. To go to Master Data, navigate to the main menu and select Master Data. Go to Partner and Partners, and then select Add New. enter the partner's name. So in our case, this is TLU partner. And then to add an identifier, select the add icon here. We're going to be entering a GLN. And we've all got the same GLN for this partner, which you put in the value field here. And then set this as the primary identifier. Be sure to click apply, and then it will appear in the table below. Then make sure you save your entity here. Now on to linking. At this stage, you've configured Process Network for your own company and added your partner and partner master data. By this, TraceLink recognizes your partner's digital identity and associated network. The next step is to formally establish the digital link with TLU partner. Creating the link confirms your partner's digital identity within the TraceLink network and adds it to your company secure digital address book. If your partner's identifiers aren't yet registered on the network, TraceLink's network operations team validates the partner information and activates their network presence before the link can be completed. The link represents a quasi-conduit through which you exchange data. I say quasi because there isn't an actual conduit. It simply means that TraceLink knows TLU owner as MAH owner and TLU partner as CMO partner, so TraceLink can use the linked app to send data back and forth. Establishing the link also enables a shared secure workspace that supports collaboration and data exchange. During this setup, TLU owner assigns the appropriate roles and permissions that TLU partner can then allocate to its team members. It's important to understand that it's you, as the owner of the Mint network, who provides the roles for your partner's teams and access. It's best practice to link Opus multi-network apps on Opus, and for apps available on TTS and Opus, it's best to link them via TTS. Apps available only on TTS are obviously linked through TTS. I'm now going to show you how to link to your partner. To do this, once again in administration, this time you go to links and network links. You'll click on add new and select the application. So we're working with Multi-Enterprise Information Network Tower, and then the network. This is the network that you've created already. Then the entity is TLU partner. Optionally, you can send a notification to your partner. But unlike in TTS, partners don't have to accept the link for it to become active. The link is automatically active once completed. In the roles section, we'll now assign the roles to our partner. So we're going to assign all transaction partner admin. And to add a new role, select add, a new line will appear. Also manufacturing supplier partner expanded, and then also manufacturing supplier partner standard. And then save your changes. Once saved, the new link is created. Before we proceed, I have a quick question. What 2 steps do you need to complete to create and expand your network? First, you add your partners to master data. Then you link to your partners. We're now going to take a look at managing roles and user access. To populate your shared workspace at TLU owner, you add users to tracing and to your process network. In this case, it's your TLU owner and TLU partner process network. Once users are added, access is controlled through roles. Each tracing application, whether enterprise or multi-enterprise, has its own defined roles. Regardless of the application, there are 2 main types of roles: administrator roles and member roles. In order to access an application within your process network, a user must have a member role assigned. Let's focus first on member roles. Solutions like Mint typically come with predefined roles such as members with standard access and member with expanded access, and corresponding partner roles. The meaning of these roles depends on the solution being used. In our scenario, this could mean a standard access member may be able to view transaction data. An expanded access member may be able to create, edit, and manage transactions. And a partner role will be assigned to TLU partner company users within the shared network to ensure they only see and act on data relevant to their responsibilities. Here's something to think about. When you're setting up permissions, it's important to pause and think carefully before assigning roles. First, ask yourself, how many people really need administrative access? Administrative rights allow users to control system settings and permissions, so they should only be given to a limited number of trusted users. Next, you should consider who needs standard access and who needs expanded access. Standard access is usually enough for users who only need to perform their daily operational tasks. Expanded access should be only given to users who need broader capabilities such as creating, viewing, and managing transactions across the network. You should also think about special roles. Some roles are designed specifically for certain business functions like manufacturing, supply, or distribution. It's important to match the right role to the right user based on what their responsibilities are for the process. In our specific scenario, we'll assign all transaction owner, admin, manufacturing customer expanded, and manufacturing customer standard access role on the owner side. And on the partner side, all transaction partner admin, manufacturing supplier partner expanded, and manufacturing partner standard access. We're doing this because in this lab exercise, we'll perform a single UI to UI transaction across the established network link between the owner and the partner. The expanded role ensures that both users have the correct permissions to create, view, and process the transaction within the shared network. Without the appropriate expanded access, one or both users may not be able to complete the full transaction flow. In this demo, I'm going to show you how to assign users to a network. So once again, in administration, you'll navigate to users and network members. Select Add New. User type is internal. Username. Select this username. Application. Multi-Enterprise Information Network Tower. Network name. The network you created. The link name. The owner side. And then assign the roles. So we want all transaction owner admin as a new row. Manufacturing customer expanded, and add another row, and manufacturing customer standard. And then save your changes. Now we've managed the roles and user access, we're going to test the configuration. From the main menu, go to My Networks and select your network, Mint for medical devices, and then go. As you can see now, you can create the relevant transactions. We're going to create a purchase order. Select Add New. And enter a PO number. And save. The screen is going to refresh with the saved purchase order in the draft state. From here, we can edit in the information. Select Edit. And first move the process status to Submitted. Scroll down and you can enter additional information about the order information and customer and supplier. So the customer is going to be our owner and the supplier, our partner. And if you scroll down further, you can enter the ship to location and build to location. And then in the line section, select the add icon and then just enter a line number. If you've added a product to product master data, you'll be able to select a product from the drop-down menu here. In our case, we haven't, so we're just going to enter a product name and then select apply. And your line will appear in the table below. Scroll back up the page and move it to submit and save. The purchase order is now submitted. I'm now going to show you how the partner receives the PO and turns it into a PO ACK and sends it back to the owner. Here I am logged into the partner's instance. I've navigated to the correct network and selected purchase orders. Here I can see the purchase order that was sent by the owner. If I click into it, I can now create a PO ACK from it. Just select apply. In the PO acknowledgement screen, I can see my PO ACK here. Click to go into it, edit, and move to submit, and change to submitted, and save. I'm now logged back in as the owner, and I can see that the PO ACK has been sent back to me under purchase order acknowledgements. We looked at an introduction to Mint administration, then Mint process networks, partner onboarding and how to link, how to manage roles and giving user access, and then we tested the configuration. Before we end our course here, let's check what we're going to learn in the next course. In the next course, you'll walk through the full process of setting up a B2B configuration in the Extensible TraceLink Transfer XTT application. You'll start by creating a B2B connection, then move on to creating and enabling transform sets. After that, you'll associate the B2B connections and configure the link in link settings. Next, you'll set up the message settings. To wrap things up, you'll send a B2B transaction to make sure everything works end to end. Thank you for your time today. If you have any questions about the course or the labs, please email TraceLink University at tracelink.com.